The day began with a hush, the kind that settles over the world before dawn fully breaks. The beach stretched out, empty and endless, its sands sculpted by the relentless wind. Mist drifted in slow, ghostly sheets, blurring the line between sea and sky. The only movement came from the restless tide, its waves rolling in with a steady, muffled rhythm, and the occasional gust that sent sand skittering across the surface in fleeting patterns. Along the tide line, the clues of the night's activity were scattered: freshly deposited seaweed, barnacles glistening in the damp air, and the delicate tracks of sandpipers weaving intricate patterns. A jellyfish, translucent and otherworldly, pulsed weakly in a shallow pool, while a crab, sensing danger, vanished beneath a mat of kelp. The air was thick with the briny scent of salt and decay, hinting at secrets carried in by the tide. There, half buried by the shifting sands and tangled in seaweed, lay something that did not belong. Its mottled, smooth skin glistened with moisture, and a spiral of needle-sharp teeth protruded from a gaping maw. Sea foam curled around its body, and the gulls above grew agitated, their calls sharper, more insistent, as if warning of a presence that unsettled even them. The creature's body was a canvas for the ocean's smaller inhabitants. Barnacles and limpets clung to its hide, while amphipods scurried across its slick surface. A starfish, drawn by the scent of decay, anchored itself to the tail. Kelp fronds draped over the carcass, and in the shallows small fish hovered, wary but curious, as if sensing the disruption in their world. The spiral teeth, each one razor-sharp, seemed crafted for a singular, brutal purpose. Morning light caught on their edges, making them glint with a cold, metallic sheen. Sand grains were wedged between the spirals, and a single bead of seawater clung to the tip of a fang. Trembling as if reluctant to fall, its skin bore scars and strange markings, some iridescent, others raw and fresh. A wound oozed dark fluid, staining the sand beneath. Around it, anemones waved their tentacles, and a sea slug glided silently over a rock. The shadow of a large fish flickered in the shallows, then vanished, as if unwilling to linger near the anomaly. The creature stretched over 6 feet, its body muscular and sinuous, ending in a circular mouth lined with terrifying teeth. Its tail trailed into a pool of seawater, stirring the surface with each gentle push of the tide. The air was thick with anticipation, as if the beach itself was waiting for something to happen. Its body resembled that of a shark, but with no dorsal fin to break the surface. Its eyes were enormous, black and unblinking, reflecting the grey sky above. They seemed adapted for the crushing darkness of the deep, hinting at a life spent far from the reach of sunlight. How could a creature built for the abyss, for the cold and pressure of the deep, find itself stranded on this lonely English beach? The question lingered in the air, as if the answer was hidden somewhere beneath the waves, waiting to be revealed. Was this a solitary wanderer, swept off course by a violent storm, or a harbinger of something greater, an entire population lurking in the depths, their presence betrayed only by this single, silent messenger? The beach was alive with subtle signs, tide pools teeming with life, kelp forests undulating just beyond the breakers, a seal's head briefly visible before vanishing beneath the surface. All around, the rhythms of the natural world continued, but with a new tension, as if every creature sensed the disturbance. The mystery deepened as the fog rolled in, swallowing the beach in silence. The strange carcass, the clues in the sand, the uneasy cries of the gulls, all faded into the mist, leaving only questions and the promise of secrets still hidden beneath the waves. In the sterile quiet of the laboratory, the investigation began with meticulous sample collection. Tissue fragments were carefully dissected and examined under powerful microscopes, revealing unusual cellular patterns. DNA was extracted and run through sequencing machines, the resulting genetic code compared against vast databases of marine life. Environmental data was logged: water temperature, salinity, and current patterns, each detail offering clues about the creature's habitat. Evidence from the field was analyzed: strange tracks in the snow, fragments of scale, and bite marks on local prey, all hinting at an elusive predator. Advanced imaging reconstructed the spiral jaw, revealing a mechanism more suited for drilling than biting, and a skeleton unlike any known fish. Cross-referencing scientific findings with ancient records, a pattern emerged: descriptions of a beast with a spiraling mouth, eerily similar to the evidence at hand. The spiral teeth's function became clear: not for tearing, but for boring into flesh, a unique adaptation for a specialized hunter. The evidence suggested a link between the modern specimen and legends centuries old, blurring the line between myth and reality. With each new clue, the investigation pointed further north, toward the icy reaches of the Arctic. The puzzle was far from solved, but the trail of evidence was unmistakable, leading ever closer to the heart of the unknown. The Viking Connection was a long shot, but it was my only lead. In the age of the Vikings, these northern waters were both a highway and a mystery, teeming with life, yet fraught with danger. Manuscripts from Norway described the screwtan or screwtooth, a beast said to drill into whales with a spiral mouth, haunting the icy seas. These stories, once dismissed as legend, gain new weight when viewed alongside shifting environments and the creatures that adapt to them. The tales likely arose from sailors observing strange wounds on whales and seals, evidence of encounters with something powerful and elusive. Modern DNA analysis confirmed the beach creature was a rare Greenland shark, but leaner, with a more pronounced dental spiral, echoing the ancient descriptions. Was this a new subspecies, or simply a unique adaptation to the changing Arctic ecosystem? To find answers, I had to journey to Greenland, into the heart of the ice-cold killer's domain, where history, legend, and nature collide. Greenland was a world of ice and silence, an endless expanse where the land seemed to merge with the sky, both painted in shades of white and blue. Beneath the frozen surface, the elusive Greenland shark glided silently, sharing its realm with seals and schools of Arctic char. The landscape was a living sculpture, icebergs towering like ancient monuments, snowstorms sweeping across the tundra, reshaping the world with every gust. Life here was rare but resilient. An Arctic fox darted across the snow, and flocks of snowbuntings burst into the air, vanishing into the endless white. At night, the aurora borealis danced above, painting the ice fields with ghostly colors, while the cold deepened and the silence grew absolute. The wind sculpted the snow into ripples and ridges, and somewhere in the distance a polar bear moved silently, a ghost in the frozen wilderness. Beneath the ice, life thrived in unexpected forms. Jellyfish pulsed in the blue gloom, and tiny copepods drifted, feeding the entire ecosystem. The Arctic does not give up its secrets easily. Hours passed, then days, as the light shifted, but the silence remained unbroken. Staring into the abyss, I wondered what ancient secrets lay hidden in the darkness below. The only way to know was to wait, as the cold pressed in and the world held its breath. The cold was relentless, but the mystery of the deep was even stronger. Something ancient was lurking below, hidden in the frozen silence, waiting to be discovered. Beneath the frozen surface, the Arctic deep is a world of silence and shadow. Here, sunlight barely penetrates, casting a ghostly blue glow through the thick ice above. Life moves slowly in these frigid depths. Jellyfish pulse gently, their bodies almost luminous in the gloom, while schools of Arctic cod slip silently between the shifting pillars of ice. The Greenland shark reigns here, ancient, slow, and nearly blind. It glides through the darkness, a survivor of centuries. Its movements are deliberate, almost ghost-like, as it searches for prey in the endless night. The shark's diet is a testament to the harshness of this world. fish, seals, even the remains of polar bears. Nothing is wasted in the Arctic deep. Every scrap of life is recycled by the creatures that dwell here. Yet mysteries remain. Strange shadows drift beneath the ice, and ancient fossils hint at creatures long vanished. The legend of the screw-tooth persists, unexplained by anything seen so far. How could such a sluggish creature attack a whale? The question lingers in the cold, dark water, unanswered by the evidence before us. In the stillness, the deep holds its secrets tightly. Every movement, every shadow could be the answer, or another riddle. Even when a giant emerges from the abyss over 15 feet long, ancient and powerful, its teeth are ordinary, not the spiral weapon of legend. The Arctic deep remains a realm of unanswered questions, its mysteries as vast as the ice above. The Arctic storm struck with a vengeance. Wind shrieked across the endless expanse. Snow fell in blinding sheets, and the sea itself seemed to rise up in defiance. The boat was tossed like a toy, battered by the fury of nature. The cold bit deep, freezing every surface, while the storm's roar drowned out all other sound. Beneath the waves, the shark responded to the chaos, its powerful body twisting against the pull, muscles straining as it fought both the line and the wild sea. The animal's movements grew frantic, sensing the unnatural violence above. Each surge of the storm sent shockwaves through the water, testing the limits of endurance for both predator and prey. At last, the shark broke the surface, immense, spectral, and untouched by the storm's rage, but as the snow settled, its mouth revealed only ordinary teeth, no spiral, no legend. The monster was real, but the legend remained elusive. The Arctic's secrets were not so easily surrendered. The answer did not lie in these frozen depths. The search would lead onward, back to Scandinavia's mysterious shores. The legend endured, hidden by nature's fury. The journey was far from over. My Arctic encounter raised more questions than answers. The journey led me to the dramatic landscapes of Norway, where the geography itself seemed to hold secrets beneath the surface. Norway's fjords are ancient, carved by glaciers over millennia, creating deep, cold channels that stretch far inland. These unique environments form isolated ecosystems, cut off from the open sea by narrow entrances and steep walls. The fjords act as natural corridors for migrating marine life. Every year, vast schools of fish and other creatures travel these waters, drawn by rich feeding grounds and the shelter the fjords provide. Yet evidence of predation is everywhere. Circular wounds on fish hint at a mysterious hunter perfectly adapted to these shadowy depths. The Greenland shark, a relic of the Ice Age, thrives in these cold, oxygen-rich waters. Its slow movements and cryptic behavior make it an elusive predator, well suited to the fjord's perpetual twilight. In the competitive environment of the fjord, some individuals may have developed specialized hunting techniques, perhaps even the infamous drilling method that leaves those telltale wounds. To uncover the truth, technology became our ally. A deep-sea ROV, equipped with advanced cameras and sensors, would allow us to observe the hidden world below without disturbing its natural balance. The ROV's unblinking eye would reveal the secret lives of the fjord's inhabitants, tracking the movements of predators and prey alike. Our mission, to finally witness the elusive predator's gruesome hunting method and to understand how geography, migration, and environment have shaped this ancient drama. The stage was set. In the heart of Norway's wild fjords, nature's mysteries awaited discovery. Launching the ROV felt like a mission to another world, a journey into the unknown. The cold air stung our faces as we watched the submersible slip beneath the surface, its lights vanishing into the inky depths. Every second, anticipation built. What would we find in the darkness below? As the ROV descended, the world above faded away, replaced by a realm untouched by sunlight. The water thickened into a black abyss, pierced only by the ROV's beams, which revealed a haunting landscape, sculpted by time and pressure. Jagged rocks jutted from the silty floor, draped in ghostly veils of pale anemones and swaying tendrils of deep-sea kelp. Strange, translucent creatures hovered in the water, their bodies pulsing with faint bioluminescence, like living lanterns in the gloom. The seafloor was littered with clues: scattered fish bones, half-eaten carcasses, and the ghostly outlines of old wounds on passing prey. The silence was absolute, broken only by the distant crackle of shifting stones and the faint, rhythmic thrum of unseen fins. We baited the seafloor and waited, eyes glued to the video feed, searching for any sign of movement in the murk. Hours passed. Then a shadow materialized from the darkness. It glided with a slow, deliberate grace, barely visible at first, its outline merging with the gloom. The water seemed to thicken around it, as if the lair itself was holding its breath. Greenland sharks emerged, their forms spectral and ancient. They circled the bait with silent purpose, their eyes reflecting the ROV's light like cold, distant stars. These were not sluggish scavengers, but active hunters, muscles rippling beneath rough skin, every movement calculated and precise. The lair was alive with tension. A halibut drifted into view, its broad body gliding over the sand, oblivious to the danger. The water around it was thick with the scent of blood and fear, invisible trails left by countless hunts. In a flash, a Greenland shark lunged, jaws opening in a perfect circle. It clamped onto the halibut's side, its spiral teeth locking in with terrifying efficiency. The shark twisted, screwing deeper into the flesh, the force of the attack sending clouds of silt swirling through the water. The aftermath was unmistakable. A perfect, circular wound carved into the halibut's side, the signature of the screw-tooth legend. The lair was marked by these scars, silent testimony to the predator's reign. All around, the environment bore the signs of the monster's presence: shredded fins, spiral wounds, and the wary movements of every creature that dared to cross its path. The lair was a place of constant tension where every shadow could be a hunter, and every movement might mean survival or death. The deep had given up its secret. In this hidden world, the ice-cold killer ruled, and the evidence of its power was etched into every corner of its lair. The evidence was irrefutable. The Greenland shark, long shrouded in mystery, has finally been unmasked as the true ice-cold killer of the deep. For centuries, its existence was hidden beneath the icy veil of the North Atlantic, its secrets locked away in the cold, dark waters. Now, with every new discovery, the truth emerges. This ancient predator is not merely a relic of the past, but a living legend, perfectly adapted to its frozen, forbidding world. The animal evidence is compelling. The Greenland shark's lean, muscular build and unique spiral teeth are not just evolutionary quirks. They are the tools of a master hunter. These adaptations allow it to move with stealth and strike with sudden, devastating power, ambushing prey in the pitch-black depths. The spiral teeth, unlike any other sharks, are designed for gripping and drilling into the toughest flesh, a testament to the shark's relentless efficiency. The environmental impact of this apex predator is profound. The Greenland shark's presence shapes the ecosystem of the Arctic and North Atlantic, controlling populations of fish and marine mammals, and recycling nutrients through its scavenging and predatory habits. Its ability to thrive in near-freezing waters, hunting seals, fish and carrion alike, marks it as one of the most resilient and influential hunters in the animal kingdom. The marks left on prey and the remains found on remote beaches tell a story of survival, adaptation, and dominance in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Scientific discovery has illuminated the legend. The drilling attack, perfected over thousands of years, is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Each calculated bite, each patient pursuit, reveals a creature whose methods are as ancient as the ice itself. The Greenland shark's story is written in the scars of its prey, the patterns of its teeth, and the silent, shadowy trails it leaves through the abyss. Viking legends and Old Norse tales, once dismissed as myth, are now recognized as keen observations of a real, formidable animal whose behavior inspired awe and fear. The unmasking of the ice-cold killer is a triumph of science and nature. The Greenland shark stands revealed, not as a monster of myth, but as one of Earth's most fascinating survivors. Its spiral teeth and ghostly presence are proof that the ocean's most chilling legends are grounded in reality. As long as the deep remains unexplored, the Greenland shark will continue to reign, a silent guardian of the abyss, and a reminder that the world beneath the ice still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. Beneath the frozen surface, the Arctic Ocean is alive with an intricate web of life. Here, each creature, hunter and hunted, plays a vital role in a delicate balance shaped by the relentless cold. At the foundation, microscopic phytoplankton drift in the icy currents, capturing sunlight during the brief Arctic summer. These tiny organisms feed vast swarms of zooplankton, the essential link between plant life and the animal kingdom. Small fish like Arctic cod dart through the shadows, feeding on zooplankton and in turn becoming prey for larger hunters. Seals and seabirds patrol the water's edge, relying on these fish for survival during the endless days and nights. Above them all, apex predators like the Greenland shark move silently through the depths. Their predatory skills keep populations in check, ensuring that no single species dominates. The shark's slow metabolism and patient hunting tactics are perfectly adapted to the scarcity of food in these frigid waters. Yet, survival in the Arctic is never guaranteed. Each animal has evolved unique strategies, camouflage, migration, and even hibernation. Some, like the polar bear, traverse vast distances in search of prey. Others, like the narwhal, use specialized tusks to locate fish beneath the ice. But the Arctic web is fragile. Shifting ice, warming waters, and changing currents alter the rhythm of life. As temperatures rise, some species thrive while others struggle, sending ripples through the ecosystem. Every link in this chain is crucial. The Greenland shark's role as both predator and scavenger helps recycle nutrients, supporting life from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. In the silent depths, survival depends on adaptation, cooperation, and the relentless drive to endure. The Arctic food web is a testament to nature's resilience, a living network, ever-changing, yet always connected by the icy embrace of the North. In the heart of the Arctic, ice is more than just a frozen landscape. It is a dynamic, ever-changing force that shapes life itself. The process begins at the molecular level. As temperatures plummet, water molecules slow down, bonding together into a rigid hexagonal lattice. This unique crystalline structure allows ice to float, providing a crucial platform for life above and below the surface. Environmental factors drive the formation and fate of this ice. During the polar night, when sunlight vanishes for months, the air and sea temperatures drop rapidly. Sea ice begins to form first as fragile, needle-like crystals called fragile ice. These crystals cluster together, eventually solidifying into a thin layer known as nelas. Over time, as more water freezes and snow accumulates, the ice thickens, creating the vast, white expanses that define the Arctic. But ice is never static. Winds, currents, and shifting temperatures constantly break, move, and reform the frozen sheets. Leads, openings in the ice, appear and disappear, providing brief access to the surface for breathing mammals like seals and whales. Beneath the ice, algae flourish in the thin layers where light can still penetrate, kick-starting the Arctic food web and drawing animals to these nutrient-rich zones. The seasonal rhythms of freeze and thaw dictate the lives of countless species. As ice retreats in summer, sunlight floods the water, fueling blooms of phytoplankton. Migratory animals time their journeys to coincide with these pulses of productivity. In winter, As the ice thickens and darkness returns, only the most resilient species endure, some entering states of dormancy or migrating to warmer waters. Yet the balance is delicate. Rising global temperatures are thinning Arctic ice, altering its structure and shortening the season of freeze. This not only affects the hunting grounds and shelter for animals like polar bears and seals, but also disrupts the entire ecosystem, changing migration patterns, breeding cycles, and food availability. In the Arctic, ice is more than a barrier or a bridge. It is the foundation of an entire world, its molecular dance shaping the fate of all who depend on it. Beneath the serene, glistening surface of Arctic ice lies a world veiled in darkness and fraught with danger. Here, predators stalk the shadows, and survival is a constant test of instinct and adaptation. The ice above may appear solid and safe, but below it conceals a labyrinth of cracks, shifting flows, and sudden openings. Natural hazards that can spell doom for the unwary. In these hidden corridors, stealthy hunters like the ringed seal glide silently, ever watchful for the telltale silhouette of a polar bear prowling above. The bear's massive paws are finely tuned instruments, capable of shattering thin ice or silently ambushing prey at breathing holes. Every movement below the surface is a risk. A single misstep can mean life or death. But the dangers do not end with predators. The ever-changing ice itself is a force to be reckoned with. Seals and narwhals must navigate through mazes of ice ridges and sudden leads, narrow cracks that open and close with the tides. A wrong turn can trap an animal, cutting off access to air and escape routes. In the darkness, orcas roam in search of seals resting on ice floes, using coordinated tactics and surging waves to dislodge their prey. For the smaller denizens, fish, crustaceans, and plankton, life beneath the ice is a delicate balance of evasion and endurance. Camouflage, quick reflexes, and the ability to sense subtle vibrations are their only defenses against lurking predators. Survival here demands more than strength. It requires an intimate knowledge of the ice's moods and the secrets it keeps. Each breath, each dive, is a calculated risk, a silent testament to the resilience of Arctic life beneath the frozen veil. The Arctic, once a stronghold of ancient ice and unyielding cold, now faces an unprecedented threat: climate change. Warming temperatures are reshaping this frozen realm with alarming speed, thinning the ice that once stretched unbroken for miles and fracturing the delicate balance of life beneath its surface. Sea ice, the very foundation of the Arctic ecosystem, is vanishing at a rate never before recorded. As the ice retreats, vital hunting grounds for polar bears and resting platforms for seals are lost. These apex predators are forced to journey farther and expend more energy in search of food, tipping the scales of survival against them. Below the ice, the story is no less dramatic. Narwhals and belugas, once able to navigate familiar mazes of solid ice, now face unpredictable waters and shifting ice flows. Their migration routes are disrupted, and their access to breathing holes becomes a dangerous gamble. But it is not only the large mammals that feel the strain. Plankton blooms at the foundation of the Arctic food web are now occurring earlier in the year, driven by changing temperatures and increased sunlight. This shift ripples upward, impacting fish, birds, and mammals that depend on precise timing for feeding and breeding. The mysterious ice-cold killer, once shrouded in the security of thick ice, finds its world transformed. New predators venture north, drawn by the retreating ice and warmer waters, introducing unfamiliar threats and competition. The killer's ancient tactics must adapt or perish. As the Arctic continues to warm, the very identity of this ecosystem is at stake. The loss of sea ice accelerates global warming, as dark ocean waters absorb more heat, creating a feedback loop that threatens not just Arctic life, but the balance of the entire planet. The secrets of the Arctic are unraveling, not by the hands of explorers, but by the relentless force of climate change. The fate of the ice-cold killer, and all who call this frozen world home, hangs in the balance, as the Arctic's future grows ever more uncertain. Beneath the endless twilight of the Arctic summer, stories have always echoed across the ice. For centuries, legends have whispered of shape-shifting spirits, ghostly serpents, and monstrous shadows gliding beneath the frozen sea. While these tales may seem fantastical, many are rooted in the remarkable behaviors of real Arctic creatures and the awe-inspiring phenomena of their world. Take the narwhal, once believed to be a unicorn of the sea. Its spiraled tusk breaking through the ice inspired myths of magical beasts and enchanted weapons. In truth, this incredible adaptation helps narwhals sense their environment and navigate the shifting labyrinth of ice. Or consider the eerie singing of beluga whales, echoing through underwater caverns, a sound that for generations fueled stories of haunting spirits and lost souls beneath the waves. The northern lights, shimmering and crackling across the sky, were once thought to be the spirits of animals or ancestors, dancing above the frozen tundra. Yet, this celestial display is born from solar winds colliding with Earth's magnetic field, painting the darkness with living color. Even the infamous ice-cold killer, the stealthy Greenland shark, has inspired its own legends. Moving in slow, silent pursuit, it evades the gaze of all but the most patient observer. Its longevity and mysterious habits have woven it into local folklore as an immortal guardian, a spirit of the deep. But behind every legend lies a natural marvel. The Arctic's mysteries, mirages rising from the sea, phantom islands glimpsed on the horizon, sudden flashes of light as ice fractures. Each have a scientific explanation, yet the wonder they inspire remains undiminished. In a world where reality and myth intertwine, the Arctic's true magic is revealed, not only in its creatures and landscapes, but in the stories they inspire. As the ice shifts and the future grows uncertain, these legends remind us of nature's power to astonish, to mystify, and to endure, long after the last footprint fades from the snow.